Gentlemen and ladies, lovely clip for you today on a very interesting topic. But first, 29th of March 1900, the 7 key mistakes you are making in building your wealth through trading and investing, and the 3 great gifts you're forgetting to use. We are doing an awesome webinar. It's totally free. Go to themarketsniper.com, hit get started, attend the webinar. It's for free. You'll get loads of value on the 7 great mistakes you're making on building your wealth in this reset society and environment. I am going to talk about Catalan and Spain and the EU. Yes, and how it all turns out. Carlos Puigdemont. Now that pronunciation is almost certainly wrong, but I'll try once again. Carles, because it's a L-E-S, Carles Puigdemont, the president of the Catalonian people, was arrested the minute he crossed the border into Germany. So they were clearly tracking him. He was in Denmark and he was seized by Germany. He's in Berlin at the moment, setting up the scope for him to be extradited to Spain. And you might say, okay, so what's wrong with that? Well, the charges are rebellion. Yes, that great criminal act of arranging an election in his home state, which he won by 90%, and that Madrid, the core central control structure of the Spanish Republic, decided was illegitimate. That's right, the people spoke, and their answer was deemed unrequired, unwanted, and unsought. And the person who arranged for that voice to be heard is now being seized, with the charges being rebellion, sedition, and I'm not even entirely sure I know exactly what that means. I'm going to have to check my thesaurus again, and embezzlement. Embezzlement, this is from the Spanish government, coming from the Spanish government and the EU superstate. Note the role of Germany in here, seizing and grabbing and laying, and I predict he will be extradited. He will be tried in Madrid, and he will be found guilty of something of those 3 words, and it will lead to a custodial sentence. Why? Because he's dangerous. He's not dangerous like terrorist dangerous, hand grenade and gun shooting, murdering kind of dangerous. No, he's a decent man. He's a man who represents his people. He's dangerous to Project EU, the conglomeration of nation states, and breaking down the border and the bureaucracy and multiple layers, as I've referred to before, cannot be stopped. Somebody who defragments this melting pot where everybody has to be scrambled egg society. You can't be poached and you can't be fried, and he can't be on a McMuffin. You need to be in the pot with everybody else, so that we have a bigger base, a bigger tax base, a bigger extraction scheme, and we can have more control structure individuals that like to think of themselves as right to rule elites that can dominate you and tax extract from you. And the defragmentation, aka think UK and Brexit, is not welcome. You see, the EU is all about democracy, but it's only a certain kind of democracy when you vote right. That's right, when you vote right for the further conglomeration, the further control structure and control elements brought to core, you've done well. If you don't vote right, aka the Irish on the Lisbon Treaty that are rebranded a few times yet represented, basically the same document many times, you get asked to vote again. And if you have a leader that highlights the fact that, as a 61-year-old lady said in Catalan, we aren't part of Spain, we are part of Spain through conquest. Listen to that. We are part of Spain through conquest. They took us, and we want our freedom. Kind of like the potato famine Irish might feel about the UK. Only they at least got Ireland in the end. Catalonia is still stuck with nothing much more than a common tongue. Their culture's been suppressed. They've been abused since the 70s by Madrid and the larger Spanish control structure, right the way through to feeling absolutely undermined in the handling of the 2008 credit crisis, all the properties bust and the banks and all that got extracted out of them. There's 7.5 million people there, wealth of culture, higher than average earnings and living standards. Spain is not going to let them go, and democracy ends where the EU takes forward. The EU is your greatest enemy. This is not Europe, this is not Europeans, this is a control structure. This is Brussels. These are people that criminalize a leader of his own tribe, Catalonia. Yes, people, arrest him for sedition, embezzlement and rebellion. And he is my prediction to you as an economic futurist, as amongst other things, is he will sit and he will be found guilty and he will get a custodial sentence. The threat is of 25 years. I've heard of repeat opiate offenders that go on to murder that will get less than 25 years. That's not to say I'm saying he's going to get 25 years. The maximum sentence, we'll see. No amount of time is justified. This man should be returned to Catalonia, where he can be the leader of his tribe and people and re-establish their culture, have their own boundaries and boundaries, their own tax, their own legislation, and a fair bilateral trade arrangement with the rest of Spain. And if they want out of the EU, they're damn well welcome to it, and if they choose to vote for it, they should be allowed to do it. You see, this is the difference between the EU and real democracy. Anyway, thought I would update you on this interesting little slice of events that occurred today. Note the cooperation. As much as Germany, Spain have differences of opinion, they are all part of the same scheme. Germany seized this man for what reason? What has he done to Germany? Oh, they did it because they're cooperating with Spain and they agree that there's a perceived crime to be answered for. Even Mandela got to hang out in London. Thabo Mbeki got to hang out in London. They could go into Russia and Moscow. Why are we arresting somebody who represents his people and won an arranged referendum that Spain doesn't like the answer to? Hello? EU? Democracy? Representation? No, sir, not at all. 29th of March, come and find out why. These accelerations are going to be bringing to you the Great Reset sooner than you think. I am detecting a quickening. You need to know what to do, how to position, and we are here to help you do that, both from your trading and your investing point of view. The webinar, 1900 GMT, 29th of March. That's right, it's coming soon. Go to meeting, and I look forward to chatting to you then. You will get 7 interesting facts that will help you prevent yourself standing on a landmine, and 3 key gifts that you're not doing. Not for everybody. This is for active investors and traders and people that recognize that we are in a reset environment and we are waiting for the final hammer to fall. Thank you very much. Subscribe and share. I appreciate you a lot, and speak to you all again soon.